Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So Frosty has done it again. He is honestly like the savior for free-to-play budget players. He has made a way for DAIMON to be in the new best teams basically if you don't have Baelran. And this allows the Harak team to have a better chance of competing with the top Baelran team. And for the non-Harak, non-Baelran teams, now you get a big score boost by using DAIMON. However, a couple of things to mention are these teams are going to do well when your resonating level is above 840. That kind of seems a break point where you're going to get boosted damage if you can go beyond that. Another important thing is if you haven't already gotten the red charms or the twins, legendary charms, probably best to just stick with the orange charms. The orange charms are not causing any problems. Sometimes the red charm upgrades changes things. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. And you can even downgrade the charms, by the way. You can just swap them out if you do have them. Yeah, but you can try it basically with them or without them. It shouldn't make much of a difference, but for some people it is interfering. Okay, so this is going to be the top team which we're going to be doing runs of, which is the Harak team. We're going to have DAIMON in the back with the Core Forward spell. DAIMON's going to deal a very high amount of damage. Not as much as Baelran, but he's honestly getting close to that level of damage. Blue Twin on the right, Pink Twin on the left, and Smokey is back. People were so disappointed Smokey has not been in any Dream Realm boss content this season so far much, or really this phase, but he is here as a buffer and damage dealer and doing really well. Illusion Fresto in front of Smokey, Real Fresto in front of Harak with the Core Forward spell. We're going to go ahead and do a run of this, see what type of score we can. I have min-maxed it. I've upgraded my equipment that give attack for my key heroes basically, and I have also boosted up the levels of the Harak, DAIMON, and Fresto, which are going to be the big three for damage dealers for this comp specifically. And I think we're probably going to get a pretty good score. I'm expecting like 240 billion, I think is within our reach. We're going to try to do that. And then after this, I will show you the non-Harak teams. There are two different versions of them using DAIMON. Basically, Faramore and Valara have actually been replaced other than in the Baelran team. I believe Valara is still in the Baelran team, but like Faramore is not in any of the top teams now if you have DAIMON, because DAIMON is just going to be a better damage contributor for it. Look at this, 15 seconds left. We've already broken our record with this. 9 seconds left. There we go. We're on track to be hitting over 240 billion damage. That is beautiful. 254, almost 255 billion damage. With our first run, we're going to reclaim our rank 7 position because all of the people above here, they all have Baelran basically. If you take a look at the damage chart, DAIMON is not holding back at all. 81, almost 82 billion damage, almost as much as Harak. Also, Smokey dealing a lot of damage. And this is why I got all of Smokey's charms. I swept them today because I wanted to increase his damage output and they give him more stats, right? And so then his damage is going to be higher. DAIMON I bought from the Charm Merchant, Harak, and then Fresto. Twins do not need. They do not need the red charm, so better to save for later when they eventually may need it, because it's just a defensive buff basically they're going to provide with their charms. So if we look at the damage leaderboard, we're closing the gap. The top rankers now are only around 40 billion damage higher than me, and their levels are higher. Their equipment is probably higher due to that fact that they're higher resonating level, and they're running the Baelran Paragon 4 teams. So this is actually really good news for people who have do not have Baelran. Basically, the gap is going to be closing in, and all of these players above me, they all have Baelran. So like the fact that we're getting close shows you just the power of this team. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys the other two teams that you can run if you do not have Harak. Basically, you can also get in on the fun of DAIMON. So we have this Frosty budget team. Now this is using Reinier, but Reinier can work at one copy. Reinier is only here really to give the Celestial Hypogean faction talent tiles and his charm bonus, but you only need the orange epic charms. You do not need legendary for this team. You're not killing anything, so there's no point of those legendary charms. So here you have the first one. Pink Twin on the right, Blue Twin on the left, Smokey on the Stellar Bond. You have Illusion Fresto on the Faction Talent tile on the left, DAIMON on the right Faction Talent tile with the Core Forward spell, and then Real Fresto behind the Smokey. But again, remember, you're going to need to have around 840 or above resonating level for this team to actually be overtaking the previous best teams. But then for the rest of the Primal Lord, this is going to be the top team. And yeah, so, but also it probably wants to have your DAIMON upgraded. So this is mainly for the players who also have that DAIMON upgraded. Doesn't need to be Paragon, but like ideally Supreme Plus or Supreme with plus 10 exclusive equipment, I would say. So here we have this team. Now this team, there are a bit of problems if you have the red charms on the twins. Some people have reported that it's a little bit interfering with the smoky timing and everything. So maybe just going down to the orange charms may be better. But you can try it with the red charms if you have them. It is fine for some people, but for some it is not. Then we have an alternate form. This is going to be the same heroes, but just a different positioning. The twins are now stellar bonding the real Frestor in front of the illusion, Smoky in the back in the middle, Reinier in front of DAIMON, pink turn on the right, blue turn on the left. And this team is working with red charms of twins, no red charms on twins. It doesn't really matter as much. But the key heroes you want to get charms on are Frestor, DAIMON, who are major damage dealers. Smoky, third, because he's the third highest damage dealer. These two can leave orange charms. They do not need red charms for this team specifically. So basically, those are the top teams and what you can run. And now it will just come down to min-maxing. What can change is when we go below 50% of the boss's health. This is a thing which may change. I don't actually know if it's going to change for all teams though, but for some teams on the VN server, they swapped artifacts into the Stormlash spell because this gives a 21 execution and that's 21% bonus damage when the enemy is below 50% health, which of course is going to apply when the Primal Lord is also below 50% health. However, that damage only is boosting physical damage, magical damage, true damage. It is not going to increase your HP per second, HP loss damage which is in this team. Let's go ahead and do our remaining skip runs. Why not hold back? 254 billion damage. Again, what I've seen is this Primal Lord has almost no RNG. All of my runs end up getting almost exactly the same score. Which also, it's a good thing because then it just really shows you, okay, there we go. Nice, 255 billion damage. But usually it's just 1 billion damage for score fluctuations, not really much more than that. So you know that, for example, these people, this is their maximum potential and they're only 40 billion up. And like I said, looking at their levels, they're already over 881 resonating level, maybe even 891 on some heroes. That is a big boost in terms of score. And so the fact that we're only 40 billion damage down, not having DAIMON Paragon 4, and we are also a bit behind on levels. We're actually, this is really good. This is really good news for basically No-Baelran players. And so I'm really excited about that. And this was kind of what I was waiting for because DAIMON, the problem with him is, yes, he's good for this Primal Lord. He's good for some Dream Realm content. But he's not good and he's not dominating enough for me to without worry just invest into him knowing that he's going to be the best option for a long time. The problem is all other options are really close to him and that really makes it risky to be using DAIMON, to be recruiting for him because of that fact. So that's why I've kind of held off on DAIMON, and I still want to try to hold strong and not recruit for him, but who knows what will happen. Depending on the meta, basically, of him, that will decide what I do. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Good luck getting a top score in this Primal Lord. Of course, if there are any other updates to the teams, I will let you guys know. But big shout out to Frosty, the head chef of the kitchen, who comes up with the craziest team comps. Who would think of putting DAIMON on the faction talent tile? And give up on his attack buff that he would otherwise provide to an ally. That is the craziest idea. You would think that it's not your first thought. So somehow he came up with this, and it is a top team, and top team by quite a large margin. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. That's gonna be it for this one. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please smash that subscribe button. Also, feel free to join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. And finally, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. There's a link to that in the description of this video and a pinned comment. That is the best way you can support me at no extra cost to you. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.